Alright guys, it's Chuck Grove with Foraging Truth, and I'm coming to you today to give you an update on some of the plant life that is up in southwestern Pennsylvania right now. The first one, black mustard. You can see that the leaf sections are opposing. It has a multi-angular stem, and it is starting to flower, and this is where the black seeds are going to form when we are going to be harvesting black mustard seed. So I'm going to leave this guy grow. We have plenty of this going around the area. And later on we're going to do another video to actually show you how the Romans made mustard. That's going to be interesting. Over here we have these great big leaves, and you can see they have a celery type stem. It's concave on the inside towards the center of the plant. The leaves have very, very pronounced veins, and it has a web vein structure. It's furry on the bottom and top, more furry on the bottom than the top, but there is those little furs around the top as well. And there's many medicinal uses for this. But the really interesting fact is, when making ash cakes, you would wrap these leaves around your ash cakes and then put them in the fire. So, how to make ash cakes, possibly coming down the road, and other medicinal uses for burdock. Okay, right here we have skunk cabbage. This one doesn't look so healthy. Now, I don't recommend that you eat this, but now if you want to boil it 13 times and keep draining the water off and removing the toxin that's in this plant, you can do that. But I don't find that that's really the greatest in a survival situation, because you're going to want to keep most of your water, so why boil it all off and put toxins in it? So, you see how this leaf is real shiny? It has that real thick center stem, and all the other veins kind of branch up towards the tip of the leaf. And you have that oval, kind of almost a heart-shaped pattern. What I would use these for is shingles on a lean-to, because there's plenty of these. When you find them, you can make plenty of roofs out of this material, keep the rain off. And there is a real good way to tell you have skunk cabbage. Definitely smells like a skunk. So, skunk cabbage. What's right next to the skunk cabbage? The plant that grabs you back, cleavers. And you can see that these cleavers are really big and really healthy. Look at that guy right there. Now they're going to have one small little tiny root at the bottom. Look at those leaf sections. And you can see how that just grabs my finger. It just grabs you back on the leaf and on the stem. The stem is square. Isn't that neat? You can see these little leaflets that are starting to pop off to the sides. They're actually getting buds on them as well. And the flowers are starting. And you can see one right here. See if we can zoom in and see how small those flowers are. Little tiny flowers. And if you're gathering them, you can just keep them on yourself, because these things will stick to everything, guys. Nature's Velcro. Gather them up, put them in your juicer, dry them out, make a tea. Cleavers. You can definitely see how the leaves grow in sections, almost like a whorl on each spot on the stem. Square stem, really thin oval leaves that grab you back. Wants to hang on. So I'm going to be gathering all this up, and I'm actually going to be doing a tea today. And it does induce sweating, so we're going to see how that goes on a hot day. So, cleavers. What else did I find here? This pretty plant. Almost has a slight iridescent gray to it. You can see how the stem is coming out of the ground and then leaning over. And then it has a staggered leaf. Really soft. It doesn't grab you back like the cleavers. if you look at where the top of the plant is and you flip it over on the stem, the part that's hanging, you're going to see these flowers starting to come out. This is true Solomon seal. And what you're going to go after, if you're looking for Solomon seal, the plant isn't good. What we're going for is the underground stem, which is called a rhizome. So when you get that rhizome out of the ground, it's going to look like a series of knots, where the top of those knots on the rhizome are going to have a small circular pattern on the top, indicating the name Solomon seal. It's like a seal has been stamped on each one of those rhizome sections. And that rhizome, when you clean that off and take the little root structures off, is then boiled and fried. What does that do? That puts all of the nutrients back into your joints and tendons. It will replace the fluid into your joints. It does all kinds of things. If you're getting older like me and you've abused your body, say in the military, or just doing being an athlete, or you just live that lifestyle, Solomon seal is the way you want to go. Natural, medicinal way to benefit and help you keep going, to beat out the younger generation again and again, like we always do. Wow, look at that guy. Big, slightly furry, round stem, oval to pointy leaves, slightly sawtooth, furry. And you'll see one here, here, and here, growing everywhere. This is a cruciferous vegetable. This is actually called Dame's Rocket. So let's look at Dame's Rocket. Well, it's going to get white or purple flowers, and they're going to have 4 petals. That's another way to identify it. Now, if you haven't properly identified this plant before, I would not go for it in this stage, because you could have pretty much anything at this point. If you find Dame's Rocket in another location that's opened up, and you can say those are definitely the flowers of Dame's Rocket, take it back down to the other plant. This is when you want to harvest this plant. You hear that broke real easy? See how watery that is? Later on, this plant is going to get very woody, but you can still eat it. It just takes a lot more chewing. This is what you want when you're going to fry up Dame's Rocket, because when you fry up these little buds right here, it almost has a broccoli or a asparagus-y flavor, and this thing is packed with vitamins, and it's growing in your backyard. You don't even have to go anywhere to buy this. You just go get it from your backyard. Now, this roadway does not get sprayed. I know the farmer that owns this property, he does not spray this roadway for any of these weeds. So I will be harvesting all of this Dame's Rocket from this spot to fry up tonight, actually. Look down here. More skunk cabbage. But what's hiding back here? Trillium. Now the flower is already open, so I'm not going to be eating these leaves. They're going to be really bitter. But look how old that stem is. I mean, it's just a thick, this plant's been here for a long time. Check with your local state regulations to make sure that you can harvest Trillium if you're going to harvest it for any of the medicinal uses. Boiling the roots to make a expectorant. And of course, the other side effect is, if you're pregnant, it is going to put you into labor. Remember, these leaves, they're not going to smell, or this flower is not going to smell very good. It's going to smell like rotten meat. We've already done this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But it is really a pretty plant to look at. This is a very beautiful plant to look at. Trillium. And this is the Stinking Benjamin. So guys, here's a question for you to answer. If you're watching this video and you live in southwestern Pennsylvania or the Appalachian Mountains, can you tell me what this plant is? Cone-shaped flower structures. Base of the plants being right here. It looks like these are the leaves coming from the same thing, and it is the leaves. Have a purple speckle on the leaf. The shiny has a web or a net type of vein pattern on it, and the stalk is slightly furry. So you can tell me what that is in the comment section. I'd be greatly appreciative. Here's an interesting little plant, Woodland Violets. You see these heart-shaped leaves? They kind of overlap in the back, make that slight funnel appearance. Slightly shiny, round stem, and you can see this flower. This flower's almost gone anyway. See the shape of that flower? Woodland Violets. So, the flowers are edible, the leaves are edible, and you can eat the root if you want to induce vomiting, which is sometimes the thing. If you need to induce vomiting while you're out in the woods, dig up this root, chew it up, swallow, and wait. It will induce vomiting. So if you boil the root and then dry the root after you're done boiling it, you can use it as a food source in the wintertime. So, Woodland Violets. And there's plenty back here underneath this little piece of wood. These are all violets. Wow, look, it's more Solomon seal. But it is false Solomon seal. You can see that the leaf structure is a little bit more veiny than Solomon seal. It's a little shinier. You can see the leaf, or the stem, each section kind of angles towards the leaf, the next leaf structure, to the terminal of the stem, which is going to have the beginnings of flowers on them. This one doesn't have a good one. Right here it does. False Solomon seal. And when you dig this one up, you're going to know it's false Solomon seal. The root structure is completely different than the real Solomon seal you're looking for. Solomon seal has these big round sections, and you can definitely see the seal of each one of those stems that grew out of each part of that rhizome. This is going to be more fibrous and a lot more narrow and more veiny of a structure, but it does have medicinal uses. So, false Solomon seal. Another interesting fact is these flowers turn into berries, and the berries are edible on this, and they're not edible on the true Solomon seal. So, what do we have here? Looks like Cleavers, doesn't it? But this plant doesn't have any of that Velcro feel to it. This is a look-alike to Cleavers, and it has little yellow flowers. So leave a comment in the comment section if you know what this Cleaver look-alike is. Alright guys, Dame's Rocket. Here we have some that's flowered. You see it has the 4-petal flower. This is the ones we want to harvest. So you can see the buds on this one are a mirror image. They're furry, they have those distinct lines in them. They have a little bit of a presence of purple in these ones. Remember, there is white. These ones have purple starting on them. So, and then the leaf is opposing, and it actually goes in a circle up the stem as they oppose. You see if I turn it. Dame's Rocket. This is what you're looking for. And you can still eat them when they're like this. So guys, Dame's Rocket. Look at that bundle of greens right there. Has that broccoli smell to the back end. Smells really good. This is gonna taste good. And Cleavers. Enough to dry out and make some tea, and to try some just boiled in water to extract those nutrients out. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe. If you want to learn more about the creation and what God has given us, learn about plants, mushrooms, and how to survive with nothing but the woods, you, and God. So have a great day, and always keep foraging.